Hola a todos. Vamos a hablar de Lightning Network. El panel de hoy va a ser en inglés, así que voy a hacer el cambio a inglés. Es sobre Lightning Payments and the state of art of Lightning. Let's do a quick round of introductions.
Me llamo Lizzy. Lizzy Eisenberg. I lead global sales at Lightspark.
Hi, I'm Leishman. I'm the founder of River. We're a Bitcoin exchange in the United States.
Hi, my name's Erik Alvarez with Velas Commerce. We're a Bitcoin and Lightning Network focused software development company.
And what Lightning app or what Lightning wallet do you have in your personal phone? See?
Sure. I have two of them. So I previously led sales at Cash App, and I still use all Cash App products, so I have a Cash App wallet. I also have a self-custody wallet with Spark, which is a new layer 2 Bitcoin Lightning-enabled wallet.
What about you, Alex?
Well, I have my own River, of course. I also have Cash App, which and I have pretty much all the wallets. Moon is my self-custody wallet, and I love Moon.
But you
wallet.
run a node, a Lightning node, and a Bitcoin node, right? In River.
Sorry?
You run a node.
Yeah, we run a number of nodes, and we also power other wallets. We're the Lightning backend for the Chivo wallet in El Salvador.
What about you, Erik? What is your wallet?
Okay, I think similar to Alex, so we also run several nodes, Lightning nodes, but then because we do a lot of testing, I probably have about 12 Lightning wallets on my phone right now, and I don't think you all want to hear the entire list, but you know, since we're in Argentina, I guess I give a shout out to Moon Wallet, which was one of the first and coolest Lightning Network wallets that I ever used.
Cool, cool. Well, the name of the panel is the art of the state of Lightning, and I want to tell a little bit of Lightning. Lightning Network was created, the paper was published 9 years ago. Like you think only few papers became an industry. Lightning Network is an industry. Touch and Poon published the paper, and they do it before Christian Decker, actually. Christian was working in a paper, but Tash said, let's publish, and they published the Lightning paper, but actually it was Decker, the first person who did the first transaction of Lightning, and it was not on Lightning Network, it was in Litecoin. That is a fork of Bitcoin. Something interesting today is Lightning Network has more than 12,000 nodes. That means that the Lightning Network has more physical nodes than Ethereum today. Can you imagine that? And from the almost 19,000, more than 19,000 Bitcoin nodes, 60% are running a Lightning node. Something interesting too is that Lightning Network is so fast that you can handle almost or more than 1 million transactions per second. And you can see, like, it's the best second layer solution. Like, it's faster than Solana, it's faster than anything that exists in the market. It's fully decentralized, it's trustless. And then I'm wondering if Lightning Network is so spectacular, why it didn't take off? What is not viral? What is happening? Or maybe we are not seeing what these amazing entrepreneurs are doing day to day. Can you tell us a little bit about why Lightning didn't take off? Or maybe it's happening and we are not seeing it?
It's my opinion that it's happening. It is nascent and it's growing. And I think part of the reason why it might not be as visible is that Lightning's hard. It's really complex. And I think it's very challenging for businesses or people to manage their connection to the network. So what we've been doing at Lightspark is helping solve that problem and making it much more simple, easy to manage, and effective for businesses. So we built Lightspark Connect, which is our enterprise-grade Lightning solution, which helps solve this problem. So we've been seeing a ton of adoption, Coinbase, Nubank, a lot of partners here in Latin America as well. So part of it is access and making it easy, and then also utility. So beyond just connectivity to the network and moving Bitcoin, we developed UMA, which allows you to move any currency end-to-end in a compliant fashion. And it's as simple as sending an email. So this utility helps expand Lightning adoption and usage. And as we have more participants on the UMA network, that will continue to expand as well. So it's coming. It's growing.
What is your opinion, Alex?
Yeah, so I think that we're continuing to see a lot of growth in Lightning, but really when people say, Lightning hasn't taken over, I think really that's downstream of a bigger theme, which is that Bitcoin doesn't truly yet have product market fit as a medium of exchange. People still generally want to pay for things in dollars. And that is really, I think, the more macro reason that Lightning hasn't really taken over. And on top of that, hey, welcome. And on top of that, what the market is starting to realize is that Lightning is great for a sort of hub-to-hub payment, and it's looking more and more like it's going to be a connector of different types of scaling systems in Bitcoin, and is not necessarily purely like the end-to-end self-custody silver bullet for everything. So those are, I think, two of the reasons that it doesn't feel like Lightning is taking off, because a lot of consumers aren't actually like using Lightning self-custodially end-to-end.
Thank you. What about you, Erik? What do you think about why Lightning hasn't taken off, or maybe is happening?
I would say that it's definitely happening, honestly. I think when we look at the Lightning Network, we got to keep in mind that it's very different from the Bitcoin network in that payments are private. We don't know who's making payments. We don't know how many nodes are. We don't know how many unannounced channels there are. But we do know that there's a lot of businesses that are interested in accepting Bitcoin and interested in investing in Bitcoin. And I think we're seeing a lot of like very organic growth in Bitcoin payments, even in rather niche technologies. Like there were talks today on Nostr, and Nostr has over 30,000 active users per day, the majority of which know how to send Lightning Network payments right through their applications. And as we see more applications built with Bitcoin and built with the Lightning Network, we're going to see like real organic growth, and we are seeing that now.
I'm going to repeat the question for you. ¿Por qué Lightning Network no ha despegado, no es viral? O tal vez sí, ya despegó, pero no lo sabemos. ¿Cuál es tu opinión? And feel free to answer in Spanish, please.
¿Quieres que hable en español?
Sí, por favor.
Bueno, la verdad es que no sé. Pero, bueno, yo me acuerdo hace como un par de años, vi una charla de Sergey de Villarreal, y él dijo en esa charla que Litecoin, en Villarreal, Litecoin se utilizaba más que Lightning Network. Y yo cada vez que lo veo le digo que él ama Litecoin. Pero la última vez que lo vi me dijo que Lightning ya superó Litecoin. O sea...
Lightning super.
Pero bueno, no
Lightning
sé.
One.
La verdad es que todo cripto, Bitcoin, no ha despegado. Si tú es muy difícil ver en la calle gente que utilice Bitcoin en el día a día. Es muy de nicho todavía. Así que, y Lightning sigue siendo como un subconjunto de usuarios de Bitcoin. Algunos usuarios de Bitcoin todavía no usan Lightning. Algunos dicen que Lightning no es Bitcoin. Esos son los más trogloditas. Pero bueno, yo pienso que yo no considero que todo el mundo tiene que usar Bitcoin o que todo el mundo tiene que usar Lightning, sino que las personas que realmente lo necesitan lo utilicen. Y bueno, nosotros, por ejemplo, construimos herramientas pensando en que personas de países del tercer mundo que tienen necesidades financieras puedan utilizar estas herramientas. Así que para mí, yo no espero una hiperbitcoinización. Yo espero que las personas que necesitan esto lo utilicen y y creo que esa es mi meta.
Yeah, I remember, quick intro for Francisco is one of the best developers in Latin America and good friend. He's doing Mostro, that is a peer-to-peer Lightning transaction without KYC, and it's unstoppable. And the people, I remember you told me, I need and I want the people who live in tyrannies, in regimes that there is no democracy, when there is not financial stability, people in Cuba, Iran, Afghanistan, they can use Bitcoin. And basically, I think it's going to be products for different use cases. And just because you have the mic, I'm going to ask you the next question. Self-custody versus custodial Lightning. You are the only open source project, and it's very like on the spectrum of privacy, self-custody. Do you think Lightning is going to take off and is going to grow? The growth of Lightning is going to be self-custody, or is going to be custodial Lightning? What is your opinion, Francisco?
That's a really hard question. Okay, because we see some kind of trend of too much people using custody services on Lightning, and still, and there, I hear some opinions, respectable opinions of people saying that non-custodial Lightning services is gonna be used by bigger players and regular people custodial. I'm not sure because I don't know, anything can happen, but I'm pushing to people use self-custodial. I think it's possible. I recognize that at the beginning it was really hard using this wallet because the wallet was asking you open a channel, and that is difficult, and that's weird for regular users. But now they are doing it without removing that friction, like Phoenix Wallet, Breeze Wallet. So I think we are going slowly, but we are having this good solution. So in my opinion, the answer is I don't know, and I'm gonna try to people keep using self-custodial.
Yeah, I know River does a great job incentivize the users to self-custody in your platform. What is your opinion of the growth of Lightning is going to come from self-custody, not custodial, or maybe in the future we are going to have Frost, MPC? Oh, I don't know. What are your opinion, Alex, as a founder of River?
Yeah, so I think that most Lightning usage is going to be either custodial or a bridge between some other type of pseudo or non-custodial system. I don't think we know exactly what that looks like yet. It could be as a bridge between an eCash server to an ARC setup, or a custodial service to an eCash server. I think it's going to be a bridge between a lot of different scaling solutions with varying levels of custody trade-offs. Dario from Moon has a lot of really interesting insights here, and I tend to agree with this. So I guess I think the one sort of solid thing I can say is I doubt that the majority of payments on Lightning are going to come from consumers using a self-custody Lightning wallet purely. I think there's going to be something else there that really unlocks the usability and makes it much more user-friendly.
What about you, Lizzy? You mentioned you have a self-custody wallet from Lightspark. How do you see the future? What is the direction?
Yes, so we believe you need to support both use cases. Sure, we have a lot of custodial clients, Coinbase, Nubank, etc. And we've seen a ton of success on the custodial side of the house. Lightning is really challenged when it comes to self-custody, and Alex was pointing to this in his response. And so we launched an L2 that's fully compatible with Lightning that helps solve for self-custody. It reminds me what you were speaking about almost like a bridge. But that's going to help solve for it. And we think you need to have both. And it's hard. It's a hard challenge.
What about you, Erik? Any thoughts?
Yeah, it's an excellent question. I think there's a lot of foundational work going on in non-custodial Lightning right now that's going to be very important no matter how this question plays out. Like, for example, within the last year, we've seen the rise of Lightning service providers in a lot of really important infrastructure that's making non-custodial Lightning within the grasp of the more everyday users, number one, but also looking forward to tomorrow that's going to be like a critical piece of infrastructure for the Lightning Network as Bitcoin grows and as the Lightning Network grows. So I think to answer the question is, when we learn to use Bitcoin, we learn not your keys, not your Bitcoin, right? Now we're going to learn to use Lightning, and we're going to learn that if you're still, even when you're using Lightning, if they're not your keys, they're not your Bitcoin. It's a really important fact, and I think we as like a community and a group of businesses, we need to always be working towards non-custodial solutions because I think, I mean, they're the main benefit of Bitcoin. And so, yeah, I think it's going to keep going.
Yeah, I agree. I think as today we know 70 to 80% of the people who has Bitcoin or own Bitcoin is Bitcoin in an exchange. And now with the work the three of you are doing in Bellas, in River, and in Lightspark, you don't work with exchange, Francisco, good for you. I think it's opening the channel and opening the door to people to start moving to self-custody. It's not like white or black. It's going to be like a transitional thing. And I hope in the future, we were talking with Erik about Cashew. It's better user experience because you don't have to open a channel, you don't have liquidity, even fees. And other cryptography innovations is going to be easier. But my next question is for you, Francisco, as a developer, what is the hardest part to work with the Lightning Network and Lightning payments? Basically, you're kind of a solo entrepreneur, Bitcoin developer. Can you talk about your challenges?
At the beginning, when I started working on coding on Lightning, the biggest challenge was that I was a developer I have experience on non-related financial apps. So working with Lightning, you have to be really careful because you have money you're playing with money, so
we cannot play with people's money,
yeah,
right?
it's not exactly sometimes money of other people. So that was the hardest part for me because I didn't have experience on that. So if you had in a non-financial software, you have a bug, okay, there's a bug, you fix it. Maybe a lot of people don't like it, but they are not going to lose money, probably. But with Lightning, and also Lightning is a hot wallet, so it's very dangerous. It's not like a Bitcoin application where they have received money, for example. And with Lightning, if you receive, you have the option to be hacked and get all the money out. But that was I could say the hardest part. But right now there are too much information, documentation. It's way easier to work on Lightning. For example, there is Lightning Polar, which is really easy to create infrastructure on Lightning, everything into your computer. Back in the days, I had to create my own nodes and sending money between them, and it was really difficult. But right now, it's really easy to work on Lightning.
Lightning is from white paper to now. It's changing. I still bullish on Lightning. I think it's the best second layer solution, fully decentralized. It's difficult to compete. Lightning Network is so good. Now everybody wants to be a L2, right? It's basically everybody wants to be like Lightning Network and say it's an L2. And we are going to see a Cambridge explosion of shit coins on Bitcoin and a lot of scams. That's the sad part of this. It's not about only tokens, but the scams. And there is part that are darks, that is dark, but I would love to listen about the bright side. What you think are the future of Lightning, and what makes you the most excited about the future of Lightning Network to close this last round of questions?
Sure. I think Lightning has the capability to solve real problems for real people. And I think we see this in a very pronounced way in Latin America, and being here and seeing what an incredible alternative Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies are. I think for me, just being able to solve problems that people struggle with and improve and drive economic opportunity for folks that don't have that, that's what I'm excited about. That's what gets me excited and gets me out of bed every day to do this work. I just think it has the capability to change the world.
Thank you. What about you, Alex?
Yeah, so for me, what gets me really excited is comparing the Bitcoin ecosystem to the rest of the crypto industry and those other ecosystems. And what I see is a very stark difference. In Bitcoin, Lightning came first. There was no proprietary token. It was this layer 2 network that really laid the groundwork for scaling Bitcoin. And what I think is happening is now people building all of these new Bitcoin L2s are making them compatible with Lightning. So we already have this connecting protocol for scaling Bitcoin that has a lot of gravity and has a lot of momentum. And everyone else building scaling solutions is plugging into that. And you can see that with pretty much every L2 that's been proposed, Arc, Spark, they all plug into Lightning. That's part of the value proposition. And I think that's very unique. And I think that positions Bitcoin very well to scale into the future and continue to accelerate on its trajectory to become this world reserve asset and eventually a global medium of exchange. And the other, we don't see any other ecosystem that has that.
Really good answer.
Great point.
What about you, Erik?
Okay, I think for me, the most inspirational part of Bitcoin and the Lightning Network is this idea that we need the number to go up, right? We need more people using Bitcoin because it's a better system of money. And the Lightning Network really makes that possible. So when you work in Bitcoin on your day-to-day, I think you start to see that without the Lightning Network, you can't really operate with Bitcoin on a day-to-day level. And it's just as simple as that. There's no other way to operate with Bitcoin in a non-custodial fashion except for the Lightning Network. And it works awesome, and I think it's going to make Bitcoin available to millions, if not billions of people. So yeah, it's exciting technology, and I think it's going to grow.
What about you, Francisco? You're going to answer in English, Spanish, Venezolano?
And I think in the improvement of Lightning, probably we will see the creation of stable coins on Lightning, and there's a lot of people working on this, not only Lightning Lab, because also the RGB guys are working on the same thing. I hope to that we get that maybe next year, hopefully. And in my side, I think we should keep using this technology to bring solutions to people. Even if we don't have yet the stable coins, there is a lot of use cases, important use cases of stablecoin. For example, here in Argentina, people is crazy about stablecoin. These people that change exchanges. So also, I would like to see anytime soon, maybe or not so soon, channel factories, because it's a way of you can have big channels and create inside that channel non-custodial channels for and share it with other people. And that's amazing because that is truly a way of scale Lightning, because you don't need to go on chain for all these like theoretical channels. And that is an amazing idea, but I don't know how far are we of that, but I think we should keep working with what we have today and keep bringing solutions to the people.
Thank you. Well, this is the end of our panel, but I'm gonna ask you, like, please a big applause for these people because they are pioneers of Lightning Network. Like Lightspark is doing a great job with exchange companies. They are moving really, really fast. River is doing a great job also, always moving the needle in the industry, pushing self-custody, pushing to have reserves. Like, follow them in Twitter. Velas Commerce is helping every entrepreneur who want to get a business, a small business, a big business, who want to get into Lightning Network. Follow Erik and Francisco Calderón. I believe what he is doing is it's gonna be life-changing for people who live in authoritarian regimes, because Nostr can be censored. Lightning is unstoppable. And these 4 people are just amazing. Like, follow them, because in few years you are gonna see them doing amazing things. And thank you so much.
Thank you.